Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra here with your happy news. A previously extinct flower has been brought back to life thanks to botanists a part of the Natural England Conservation Organization. The York groundsel is a small yellow daisy-like flower that used to grow around the railways and sidewalks only in the city of York for about 50 years. However, due to excessive use of weed killer throughout the city, the flower slipped into global extinction in 1991. All but 3 little flowers were left, and fortunately the seeds left from those final flowers were saved in the Millennium Seed Bank. In a special greenhouse project at the Rare British Plants Nursery in Wales, botanists took about 100 old seeds from the bank to see if they could still germinate after 3 decades, and surprisingly, nearly all of them did. Because of this success, they went out and planted thousands of these new seeds in February, and now this week, they're finally reaping what they sow, as they're seeing the York flower pop up again in its natural habitat for the first time in 3 decades. Conservation scientists are happy with the results as a great example showcasing the value of the Millennium Seed Bank, and this flower serves as a valuable pollinator and nectar plant for the area because the flower flowers almost every month of the year. And I'm sure the bees and butterflies are thanking them, right, Brian?
Absolutely. That it's just so fun to see how things, always want to survive, whether it be a flower that's been, dormant for 30 years or, the plant that's stressed that really wants to come back. Nature's an amazing thing and it's fun to watch, and it's really fun to, explore and enjoy. Great story.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra here with your happy news. The future of sustainable clothing could be in algae. Algae is fast and cheap to grow, doesn't need much water, sucks in carbon dioxide, and its products are biodegradable, non-toxic, and actually carbon negative, meaning that its production helps remove greenhouse gases and not add to them. And there are many brands around the world that have been experimenting with using algae in fashion. Right here in our very own state, Charlotte McCurdy, who's an assistant professor, a part of the design school at ASU, developed a transparent raincoat of algae-based plastic substitute. In Colorado, 2 PhD students founded Living Ink after they developed the first black ink made from algae. Now their carbon-negative ink can be used for an array of products, like t-shirt printing and box labeling. Algaeing is another company working proactively against climate change, but instead of producing algae clothing, they make raw materials in hopes to inspire the supply chain to demand more eco-friendly options. They've developed their own algae-based clothing dye, along with a biodegradable thread made from algae and cellulose. Most clothing today is made with petroleum and synthetic-based dyes, and around 20% of the global water pollution stems from the textile dyeing process. So finding more sustainable options for that ink can really reduce the industry's climate footprint. And while all these new innovations in fashion are still in their early days, who knows, Brian? Maybe we will all be wearing something from the sea one day.
Well, there are, so as Xandra's part of the good people, folks. That's the first song we played about good people. We love happy news, and we're so proud to have her be part of this program with that. And it's a wonderful story. And it's so many good people out there doing wonderful things that we need to join in and be part of the team.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra here with your happy news. Remember when we talked about how scientists have discovered that plants make high-pitch ultrasonic sounds depending on their state of stress? Like how a dehydrated plant could quite literally be actively screaming for water, as opposed to the much more infrequent sounds made from a healthy plant. Well, what if I told you that now scientists have found a way to prove that plants can also feel our touch? Now, despite plants not having the same kind of nervous system as us and other mammals, it turns out that they still have a response to the touch of our hands. This new research was sparked by previous studies that have shown that when a pest like a caterpillar bites a plant leaf, that action can initiate a plant's defense response, such as its release of chemicals for bitterness or toxins. Now, through a series of experiments, scientists at the Washington State University have discovered that the leaves of plants can respond to the beginning and end part of our touch by releasing slow waves of calcium throughout the plant's cells. And it happens pretty quickly, too. It took only about 30 seconds for the waves to reach out and begin signaling throughout the plant, which is pretty fast for tree time. Scientists believe that the waves are likely due to the change in pressure inside the cell that occurs when you touch it. So maybe if your plant's feeling a little low, you should go outside and give them a hug, or maybe just a nice little pat. And if you're really curious to see this reaction, you can actually look at a video on the Washington State University press page. It's pretty cool. You can see the calcium move under the microscope, Brian.
Well, so do we have to sneak up on the plants before we're going to eat them out of our garden?
Well, I don't know. It didn't say anything about them feeling pain. It's just they have some sort of response to us touching them, which is just kind of cool to know.
Well, and there are some fun plants like sensitivity plant where you can touch and it will curl up and close and different things.
Yeah,
so,
those ones are really cool.
Great story again today.